You ever had that gut feeling? The one where something just feels off, even if you can't logically explain why? Well, it turns out that's not just a random feeling. It's actually an ancient biological alarm system. Today, we're going to dive into the evolutionary science behind your body's built-in truth detector. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
We've all been here, right? Let's call it the mirror moment. On the surface, everything seems totally fine. The conversation is pleasant, the person across from you is smiling. But deep inside, your stomach is just in knots. Your logical brain is trying to keep up, trying to make sense of it all. But your body is already miles ahead, waving this giant red flag. So that knot in your stomach, it's not just some vague anxiety. I want you to think of it less as a feeling and more as a high-tech biological warning. It's an alert from a system that has been fine-tuned over millions of years of evolution for one single purpose: to keep you safe. See, your nervous system is basically your original bodyguard. Long before we developed complex language or rational thought, our bodies had to instantly size up a situation and know if there was a threat. This system is always running in the background, constantly scanning everything. It is quite literally your vanguard of awareness. It's that first line of defense that senses danger before your conscious mind even has a clue what's going on. Okay, I love this metaphor. Think about it like this. The actual words somebody is saying to you, that's like a 720p video stream. It's clear enough, sure, but it's compressed. It's low-resolution data. Your body, on the other hand, is picking up an 8K signal. It's processing their tone of voice, their micro-expressions, their body language, maybe even chemical cues we're not aware of. It's a massive amount of high-fidelity data that gives you the full, uncompressed picture. And that feeling of unease, well, it actually has a name: somatic validation. This is that critical moment when your 8K bodyguard perceives a huge mismatch with the 720p words you're hearing. The smile doesn't quite match the eyes. The loving words don't match the tense energy in the room. Your body isn't confused at all. It's validating that something here is dangerously inconsistent. So what is your bodyguard actually picking up on in these moments? What kind of threat is it that triggers such a deep physical response during what seems like a totally normal conversation? Let's break down the anatomy of what's going on here. And before we even get into the psychology, just think about this incredible biological fact for a second. Our bodies are constantly having a chemical conversation that we're not even consciously aware of. This amazing little detail just shows how deep this programming goes. We have these built-in, nonverbal tools designed to manage threats and de-escalate conflict on a purely biochemical level. How cool is that? So a lot of the time, this is what your bodyguard is screaming about, something called empathy dissociation. It's detecting a person who can perform the idea of empathy without actually feeling it. They can say all the right words, they can nod in all the right places, but there's this chilling absence of any genuine shared emotion. And for our ancient survival systems, that is a huge red flag. This slide breaks it down perfectly. Cognitive empathy is saying, I understand you are in pain. It's analytical, right? It's almost clinical, like a doctor diagnosing a symptom. But affective empathy, that's I feel your pain. It's a visceral, shared emotional experience. And your bodyguard isn't looking for someone to just analyze your feelings. It's searching for someone who can safely share them. It's the absence of that shared feeling that our body reads as danger. Okay, so your internal alarm is blaring. You've identified the mismatch. Now for the most important question. What do you actually do? Because just ignoring it isn't a great option. So let's talk about some practical, actionable defense protocols you can use the moment that alarm goes off. The first rule, and this is the most important one, is you do not argue with your bodyguard. Don't try to rationalize it away or tell yourself you're being silly. Your job is not to debate the signal. Your job is to act on it. And the most effective way to do that isn't through some big confrontation, but by simply activating a pre-planned neutral protocol. And here it is. It's called the pause protocol. It's a really simple 3-step system that's designed to create space. Step 1, you deploy a neutral holding phrase. This is so crucial because it stops the interaction in its tracks without escalating it. Step 2, this action buys your logical brain some precious time to catch up with what your intuition already knows. And then step 3, in that space you've created, you can finally start to translate what your body is trying so hard to tell you. And here is your holding phrase. Seriously, memorize this sentence. Let me check my capacity and I'll get back to you. It is the perfect tool. Why? Because it's polite, it's non-committal, and it gives you a clean exit. You're not rejecting the person, you're just checking in with yourself. This one simple sentence is the key that activates the pause. So,
Once you've created that space with the pause protocol, the next step is to make sure your defenses are solid. You need to install a firewall, basically a set of rules that blocks the common ways that manipulative behavior gets in and drains your energy. And this is that firewall. It's a simple acronym, JAD. When you're dealing with someone who's setting off your somatic alarm, you do not engage in these 4 behaviors. Don't justify, don't argue, don't defend, and don't explain. Why? Because doing any of these things is like giving a hacker your password. It's the exact engagement a toxic person needs to hook you, to drain your energy, and to get right past your defenses. Sometimes a simple no or just repeating your boundary is all you need. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that your gut feeling isn't some random mystical thing. It is high fidelity, 8K biological data processed by a supercomputer that's been evolving for millions of years. We all have this hardware. The real skill is learning to listen to the signal, to honor it, and to have a protocol ready to go when that alarm sounds.
Your bodyguard, your vanguard of awareness, it is always on duty. It's a core part of your biological operating system. So the only question left to ask yourself is, are you logged in?